Nairobi, the bustling capital of Kenya, is a city full of life, noise, and history. But if you ever find yourself walking through the Nairobi Railway Station late at night, you might notice something strange. The station, with its old colonial structure, has been a hub for trains for over a century. It's seen the arrival of the departure of thousands of travelers, but not all of them have left. It was a chilly evening in the heart of Nairobi when four friends, Martha, John, Jen, and Peter, decided to spend the night exploring some of the city's most famous urban legends. They had heard whispers about the Nairobi Railway Station, stories that spoke of ghosts wandering the platforms and train carriages, and the strange events that happened to those who stayed after dark. "Let's see if these stories are true," John said, excitement flashing in his eyes as they arrived at the station. The place was quiet, the sounds of the busy city fading away as they stepped inside. The station, which usually bustled with activity, was nearly empty at this hour, and the flickering of the lights only added to the sense of unease. They started their walk through the old station, marveling at the old trains lined up on the tracks. The night was still, except for the occasional distant rumble of a passing train. But as they passed one of the old carriages, Jane stopped suddenly. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The others listened, but there was nothing, just the sound of the wind blowing through the open windows of the old trains. They brushed it off as nothing more than the wind, but Jane was not convinced. As they walked farther, Martha suddenly felt something cool touch her arm. She jumped and spun around, but there was no one there. Her heart raced. "Did you feel that?" she asked, her voice shaky. Peter, trying to stay calm, laughed it off. "It's probably just the cold." But as they ventured deeper into the station, things started to get even stranger. The once quiet station seemed to come alive in the way they couldn't explain. A strange sound echoed from one of the old train carriages. Footsteps, but no one was there. "That's it," John said, his face pale. "Let's go." But as they turned to leave, the doors of the old carriage slammed shut with a deafening bang, making them all jump. Their hearts raced, and they began to walk faster, but something made them stop in their tracks. In front of them, standing in the dim light near the edge of the platform, was a figure, a man dressed in the faded uniform of a railway worker from the past. His face was pale, his eyes hollow, and his presence sent a chill down their spines. "Who are you?" John asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The man did not answer. He simply stood there staring at them with an expression that was both vacant and full of sadness. The group stood frozen in place, unsure of what to do. After what felt like an eternity, the man slowly turned and began to walk towards the train. As he stepped onto the train, the door closed behind him with an almost unnatural smoothness, and the entire train began to shake as if it were alive. "Let's go," Martha said, her voice breaking the silence. Without waiting for another word, they turned and ran, not daring to look back. They didn't stop until they reached the station's main exit, breathless and wide-eyed. As they glanced back one last time, they saw the old train standing motionless, the lights flickering in the distance. Rumor has it that the ghosts of those who died during the construction of the old railway still haunt the station. Some say the spirits are trapped, reliving their tragic deaths, while others believe they are simply lost souls unable to find peace. The next morning the group returned to the station to investigate. The trains were still there, parked as just they had been the night before, but something was different. The old carriage where they had seen the ghostly figure, it was gone, not a trace remained. To this day, those who linger in the Nairobi Railway Station late at night sometimes hear the footsteps, whispers, and feel a cold chill as if someone follows them from the shadows. But just like the group that night, many leave without ever knowing what they truly encountered. And so, the legend of the ghosts of Nairobi Railway Station continues, reminding all who hear it to never linger too long in places where the past refuses to let go.